You're stuck in traffic. It's slow, honking, and boring. But imagine if, instead of a highway, you were sitting on a narrow stone bench and the vehicles in front of you were being pulled by four sweating horses with a running pace of 40 miles per hour. And the only thing between you and a fatal crash was a thin stone wall called a spina. This wasn't a commute. This was the Roman circus, and today we are digging up one of the most impressive and the most overlooked examples of the planet, the Hippodrome of Viminacium. The concept of a hippodrome was a stadium for horse and chariot racing. It originated in ancient Greece and with chariot racing appearing in the Olympic Games by 680 BC. When we study Roman ruins, the algorithm usually takes us to Italy. But let's swerve east. Let's go to the modern-day Serbia about 70 miles east of the Belgrade. This is the Viminacium. At its peak in the 2nd century AD, this was not a sleepy village. This was the booming, fortified capital of the province of Moesia Superior. Think of it as a Denver or Dubai, or the Roman frontier, a place where the legions guarded the Danube River, where gold was mined nearby and where over 40,000 people needed to be entertained. And for the Roman citizen, entertainment didn't mean a quiet play. It meant the hippodrome.
Let's strip away the soil and look at the blueprint. A Roman circus, or hippodrome, was a very specific piece of geometry. It was long, almost like a stretched out hairpin. To understand it, we need to break it into three key elements. First, the carceres. These were the starting gates, and they were genius. Unlike a straight line start where the guy on the outside has a huge disadvantage. The Romans built these gates on a curved arc. They used a complex system of ropes and pulleys so that all gates, bam, sprang open at exactly the same moment, giving every chariot an equal chance at the first turn. It was 2,000 years old laser-level fairness. Second, the spina. Look at the center of the track. You see that long skinny island? That's the spina. It wasn't just a media strip, it was a billboard and a scoreboard. They decorated it with stolen obelisks from Egypt, fountains to cool the air, and most importantly, lap counters. Third, the cavea. This is the seating, and it was engineered with a specific social calculus in mind. The lower you sat, the lower you were to the action, and the more likely you were to be sprayed with dirt. So, the marble front row seats. They were reserved for the governor and senators. The wooden bleachers up top, that was for the soldiers and general public. But here's the real brain teaser. How do you build a stadium that holds the population of a small city using nothing but stone, wood, and volcanic ash? The answer is Roman concrete and the vault. The seating of the Viminacium Hippodrome wasn't just piled up dirt. It was hollow, honeycomb skeleton. They built a series of repeating stone arches and then filled the spaces with opus cementitium, the same concrete that lets the Pantheon Dome still stand today. This created vomitoria. That sounds gross, but it just means exit tunnels. It allowed tens of thousands of people to enter and leave the stadium under 15 minutes. No crushing, no stampedes, just pure, efficient crowd control that modern stadiums still imitate. And the design, it was all about the G-force. The track was wide, roughly the width of a modern football field, and the turns were banked just enough to keep a chariot from flipping over as it cornered and breakneck speed. The entire structure was a gigantic physics equation made of stone.
Why is this specific hippodrome, now just a faint shadow in the Serbian cornfield, so important? Because it proves that the Roman Empire wasn't a monolith. The same thrills that shook the Circus Maximus in Rome were shaking the plains of Eastern Europe on a Sunday afternoon. It's a reminder that the edges of the map are often where culture is the most intense. And there's the best part. Feminism is so huge that archaeologists estimate that they only covered about 3% of it. So, the next time that you're in the traffic jam, just think. You're traveling slower than the Roman charioteer did 1,800 years ago. And this office had a much better view.